So when I joined as a shell at Radley, you come into this enormous campus, which my school could probably fit inside of 2 of these buildings, whereas Radley's obviously a much larger campus. There's so much staff here, wider staff, not just dons, and there's so many boys here as well. And we came at a really weird time where COVID was kind of at its tail end. You're kind of allowed back in schools, but there's still restrictions. And I remember on my first day, we obviously came and settled down, had our first night's sleep, and the next day we woke up, went to dining, and we were handing a box like we were on rations. There's been so many moments at Radley which I'd remember for a long time to come. And there's been obviously many competitions I've taken part in, some of them small, some of them large. And one of the largest competitions I remember taking part of before sixth form was the UC public speaking competition. So we were the first time Radley ever entered a team for UC public speaking, and we made it to the finals day. Fortunately, we didn't make it to the final itself, and we got axed out in the semi-final. But that whole experience of writing speeches, delivering speeches, being able to take questions from the audience, being on your feet, thinking on your feet, that's something that will stick with me forever. I was very fortunate as well last year to go to the politics trip in Washington and New York, and having never been to the States before, it was an amazing experience to go out and see how different America is actually to the UK, and how their culture is similar but also different to ours, and being able to speak to leading experts in their fields in politics there, it was an experience that I'll never forget. Radley provides a great opportunity to explore beyond curriculum academia through facilities like this actually itself. We're sitting in the Crota room here today, where we have lab space available for students to go and do hands-on experiments, and there's no goal, there's no pressure for you to achieve any results. And obviously in science you learn something very quickly where you're not always going to get positive results, and that's not always the end goal. It's about the experiments, it's about the process, it's about eliminating what's not right as well. So having places like this where Dr. Trobe's like, go wild, obviously within limits, but go wild and explore as much as you want and try different things, and you get all the resources to be able to do that. That obviously gives you an experience which you'd get nowhere else. No one can do everything that Radley has to offer. I've been very grateful where I've obviously taken opportunities massively in the academic sphere. Also, the sports facilities here are amazing, and being able to get out on the pitches 4 times a week just to train and play, that alone has been an experience in itself, which is, although it's compulsory, compared to my old school where we'd have PE once a week on a Wednesday morning for 2 periods, playing sports 4 times a week on pitches like we have here is an experience in itself. So for me it was a very different environment, switching out from my local community in West London to coming to Radley, which has a community which is built up of boys from all over the country and the world, from various different backgrounds to myself. So arguably I've brought in a completely different perspective for them to see, a different way of doing things, different way of thinking, and challenged them on many different points they have. I've made friends here who I'll be in contact with for a long time after Radley as well, and they not only challenge me intellectually. So one great thing about Radley is the boys here also are quite clever and quite sharp. So your lunchtime conversation can be sometimes more academically stimulating than P1. It's credit to the boys more as much as the institution to be able to facilitate that. It's been a great privilege to get to know Mr. Ed. We met him for a chat in the library a few years ago. That's the first time I met him. He's got many great stories to tell from his day, and he's done so much for the Radley community over the past so many years. And he's a great person to have a conversation with and share a story and a laugh with. And going over to his place for tea and having discussions and hearing his time from Oxford and whatnot, and hopefully we'll stay in contact in the future as well. Being a Radleyan to me means being able to critically assess what is going around you in the world, being able to critically evaluate how you're going to react to it. So in a real sense, you're able to go into the real world, so to speak, and leave the Radley bubble and make a difference. Radley provides such a balance of an education. It is not just academics, although I've spoken a lot about academics. Radley is not just about academics, it's about developing you as a person. You know, even being able to hold a conversation with someone, that's a skill in itself. Soft skills, the amount of formal dinners we have here, those soft skills which Radley develops over the 5 years you're here, which you don't even know you're learning, is just a part of the process. That's something that we can then take on into the real world. So you don't just walk out as like a robot, but you walk out as an actual human being who's able to contribute to the world and the larger society around us. So I hope to go read biochemistry in October and hopefully continue my scientific explorations and see where that takes me. I'd like to go into some form of research and development, working in labs like this, I guess, and trying to help where I can in the world with problems which we face as a species, and inventing new technologies which can help combat those problems. Hopefully in the future, through the infrastructure of Radley and what it's helped me provide, I will go on to do something worthwhile, and I'll be able to give back to the community in years to come. So another boy in a similar position to myself can come to Radley and have, you know, an experience to grow, and then also going to do something great as well.